You know what sucks about dying? The crash. Everything up till now. The brain damage. You guys, everything. Has made my life so much more real. I'd never been more excited to be alive. All that hope. Wasted.
SOMA is a sci-fi game that tackles what it is to be human, what it is to be alive, and the efficacy of artificial intelligence. In this respect, it is a resounding success. It's also a survival horror game, and it's here that the game begins to fall down, largely through its need to satisfy traditional survival horror tropes. This is the biggest area where the game falls down. While movement feels realistic and sluggish, feedback is great, the puzzles can be obtuse at best and tedious at worst. There are countless examples of tedious, time-consuming puzzles that either could have been explained better or simply removed. Similarly, monsters are genuinely creepy, but have a tendency to annoy after a short period of time. And it is regularly frustrating and difficult working out how to get past them. Again, there are many examples, especially in the mid to late game, of monsters who just seem needlessly difficult. The worst one, if I remember rightly, was in Theta, and I still don't know how to get past that monster. It didn't seem to react to noise, it didn't seem to react to sight, it just knew where you were and came after you. In the end, my strategy was pretty much just to run and hope that they didn't catch me. The atmosphere is easily this game's greatest success. The surroundings are believable, and they convey everything you need to know about the game. NPCs are genuinely interesting, and while you don't actually speak to very many people, the people that you do speak to are memorable. They each have a personality, and the morality behind your choices with those NPCs have genuine impacts upon you as a player. On top of that, the music is very well used, as is the lighting. There are other things to mention about the atmosphere, but I'll come back to those in a second. The story of SOMA is largely told through items found in the environment, either on computer screens or items that you can pick up and look at. It's also told through rare, direct interaction with other characters, such as Catherine. Like I said before, these characters feel alive, they feel real, and the way that they react to their various situations feels genuine. It's easy to care for these characters, especially Catherine and Simon. To feel Simon's moral quandaries throughout the game, and to see Catherine's almost ruthless approach to getting what she needs done, makes you question what you're doing and why you're doing it. For example, an early puzzle does this really well. You're asked to find enough power in the system to open a doorway that you need to progress. However, in order to access that power, you need to torture a robot that believes itself genuinely to be human. That robot's screams, I can still remember, and they still haunt me. And that leads us to the impact of the game, which is honestly where I think this stands out. It is genuinely hard-hitting. The moral choices that you make in the game are hard-hitting, and they make you think. I didn't want to leave that robot in pain. I know that until that station ceases to exist, that robot will be in unending torment. There are any number of hard-hitting elements to this game, such as the first time you realise you're a robot, the first time you wake up and find yourself in this completely alien area, and the first time you meet an actual living, breathing human, only to then kill them, ending the human race. For any armchair philosophers out there, the philosophy of the game is equally hard-hitting. Like I said, delving into what it is to be human, what it is to be alive, and the efficacy of artificial intelligence. Throughout the game there are plenty of examples of these concepts being explored and being talked about between the characters and in bits and bobs around the game. And while that's a big part of what the game is, it's by no means expected for somebody to take an interest or to properly study these things within the game's context. You're perfectly able to just walk around having all this stuff happen around you and not have to worry about it all too much. SOMA honestly is a great game. It has a fantastic ambience. It has genuinely intriguing ideas within the game. It has an incredible design and the voice acting is tremendously good. Even the story has great pacing. Unfortunately, clunky puzzles slow down the pace to a point where it becomes frustrating and monsters are unintuitive and it can be a chore to get past them. All in all though, I definitely recommend playing this game. I watched a playthrough of it before I played it and the game was still worth playing. On top of that, Frictional Games cultivates a fantastic mod scene. So for example, the pacification mod, which pacifies the monsters in the game, making them genuinely creepy and giving it a completely different feel to the typical shipped game. On top of that, custom stories are already in the works. And if Amnesia: The Dark Descent is anything to go by, the custom stories are worth the price of the game alone. So I would recommend trying the game, albeit with a walkthrough open for those moments when really there's no way of working out how to do something. Now of course this wouldn't be a review if I didn't give the game a score, and I'd like to steal a reviewing system from one of my dad's old work colleagues. Now his idea was to score what he initially thought the game was going to be like. So for example, if he saw it and thought it was going to be alright, he might give it a 7. He'd then play the game and re-evaluate his score, and then score what the game is out of what he thought it was going to be. SOMA, unfortunately, having already watched a playthrough of it, I knew what I was getting into going into it. So for that reason, going into it, I'll score it an 8. However, having played through it, I felt that it really did live up to my expectations of it. There were things that annoyed me about it, but the stuff that I loved more than I disliked the stuff that I didn't like. So for that reason, I'll give it an 8 out of 8. It lived up to everything that I wanted it to be. Yes, there were things that I didn't foresee being as frustrating as they were, but playing through it and getting to delve into the characters and getting to know the characters and experience the ambience of the game was far better than I expected it to be. And had it not been for my little bugbears in the game, it would have been a 10, absolutely for certain. So thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, leave a like, comment and subscribe. Feel free to go and check out my SOMA playthrough. I'll leave a link in the description down below, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.